It is 2 p.m. on a Sunday. You haven't brushed your teeth. You haven't opened the curtains. There's a half empty water bottle on your nightstand that's been there for 3 days. Your body feels heavy, not physically heavy, like you lifted weights, but magnetically heavy, like gravity is working double time, specifically in your bedroom. You know you should get up. You have laundry to do. You have ambitions. You have a life out there waiting for you. But the distance from your mattress to the door feels like 1,000 miles. So, you stay here, wrapped in a duvet cocoon, scrolling, watching 15-second clips of other people living their lives. The internet calls this bed rotting. It's become a buzzword, a trend, a lifestyle aesthetic on TikTok, complete with cozy lighting and iced coffee. But if you're watching this right now, you know that the reality isn't always aesthetic. Sometimes it feels like safety, but other times it feels like decay. It feels like you're watching your youth evaporate while you stare at the ceiling. Why is an entire generation deciding to opt out of consciousness? Are we just lazy? Are we broken? Or is rotting actually a biological survival mechanism for a world that demands too much? Today, we aren't just going to judge the rot, we're going to understand it. To understand why we can't get out of bed, we have to look at what's waiting for us outside. For the last decade, we were sold a very specific script: the hustle, the girl boss, the grind set. We were told that if we optimized every second of our day, woke up at 5 a.m., and drank the green juice, we would be rewarded. Success, stability, a home of our own. But the promise was broken. We worked the hours, but the rent kept going up. We got the degrees, but the entry-level jobs require 5 years of experience. The outside world became expensive, hostile, and exhausting. In a hyper-capitalist society where simply leaving your house costs $20, the bed becomes a form of protest. It is the only place where you aren't spending money. It is the only place where you aren't performing for a boss, a partner, or an algorithm. Sociologists call this the great opt-out. When the game feels rigged, the only winning move is not to play. For many of us, especially Gen Z, living with roommates or parents, that the bedroom is the only territory we truly own. It's not just a place to sleep, it's our fortress, our dining room, our cinema, our office, and our sanctuary. So when you rot in bed, you aren't just being lazy, you are retreating to the womb. You are seeking safety in a world that feels increasingly unsafe. But let's go deeper. Let's look at the hardware, your nervous system. You've heard of fight or flight, right? When a caveman saw a lion, his body flooded with cortisol to either fight the lion or run away. But what happens when the lion isn't a lion? What happens when the threat is an endless stream of emails? Or the looming threat of climate change? Or a bank account balance that's too low? You can't punch an email, you can't run away from inflation, so your body chooses the third option: freeze. In polyvagal theory, this is called dorsal vagal shutdown. It's an emergency brake. When your system is overwhelmed by stress and high cortisol for too long, your brain pulls the plug. It forces a reboot. This is why bed rotting feels so physical. You mentally want to get up. You're screaming at yourself to get up, but your limbs feel like lead. This is a functional freeze. Your body believes it is under attack, and its strategy for survival is to play dead, to stay low, to conserve energy. So if you're beating yourself up right now, calling yourself useless or lazy, stop. Laziness is a choice. You enjoy laziness. Bed rotting is not a choice. It's a physiological injury. You are nursing a nervous system that is completely fried. However, there's a catch. And this is the part where we have to be honest with ourselves. If bed rotting is about rest, why do we feel more tired after doing it for 8 hours? Because we aren't actually resting. We are rotting. And there's a crucial difference. True rest is low stimulation. It's staring at a wall. It's napping. It's reading a book slowly. It allows the brain to process and heal. Bed rotting, as we do it today, is high stimulation. Your body is still. But your brain is running a marathon. You are feeding it terabytes of information, bright lights, loud sounds, emotional triggers. One second you're watching a funny cat video, the next second a war crime, the next second an influencer telling you you're ugly. This is the dopamine trap. But you're numbing your body while overcooking your brain. It creates a state of wired but tired, and this leads to revenge bedtime procrastination. We refuse to sleep because sleep means tomorrow comes faster, and we don't want tomorrow to come. We want to extend this limbo state as long as possible. We are stealing time from our future selves to feed a present that feels empty. The danger of bed rotting isn't the act itself. A lazy Sunday is fine. The danger is when the rot becomes your identity. When you stay in the cocoon too long, the air gets stale. The safety turns into isolation. The rest turns into depression. Shame is a powerful fungus. It grows in the dark. The longer you stay in bed, the more ashamed you feel about not being productive. And to cope with that shame, you hide in bed even more. It is a self-feeding loop. You start to lose your social muscles. Eye contact becomes hard. Speaking feels like too much effort. You become a ghost in your own life. Comfort is addictive, but comfort in excess will kill your ambition faster than failure ever could. So, how do we break the loop? Do we force ourselves to run a 5K tomorrow? Do we throw our phones in the river? No, that won't work. Your nervous system is still fragile. We need harm reduction. We need to learn how to rot responsibly. Step 1, floor time. If you can't leave the room, just leave the bed. Lie on the floor, ideally on a rug. It sounds stupid, but changing your elevation changes your perspective. The floor is uncomfortable enough to keep you alert, but grounded enough to let you rest. Step 2, the 20-minute no-screen rot. Give yourself permission to do absolutely nothing, but the rule is no screens. Stare at the ceiling, listen to the rain. Let your brain actually process the day. It will be boring, but boredom is the medicine you need right now. Step 3, low stakes movement. Don't try to conquer the world. Just wiggle your toes, then sit up, then drink a glass of water. Micro movements tell your nervous system, we are safe, we can move. If you spent today rotting, forgive yourself. Really, let the guilt go. You're living through a very difficult time in human history. It makes sense that you are tired. You didn't waste the day. You survived it, and sometimes survival looks like staring at a wall for 6 hours. The world will still be there tomorrow. The emails, the expectations, the noise, it can wait. You don't have to fix your whole life tonight. You just have to rest, truly rest. Good night, and try to drink some water when you wake up.